When you serve others as a leader, you not only help them grow, but you should see growth in yourself. And so, ladies, just sort of think into this idea of, of changing the world. And where is a place that you might start? Would it be that you would want to see a change in your neighborhood? Would it be something on a large scale, like you would want to see a change in a healthcare center? Or even maybe just in your community, whether it's an online community or face-to-face community, just thinking about where is a place where you would see better environment, better people who are more respectful, unified, and positive. Just think about it. Where would you like to see some change occur in spheres of influence that you have? There are authors, Rosamond and Benjamin Zander. I'm not sure if you're familiar with those authors, but they talked about how the assumptions we make are actually the things that restrict our thinking and therefore limit our possibilities. I'm going to say that again because that's extremely powerful. It is the assumptions that we make that restrict our thinking and limit our possibilities. Let me talk about me. So I read this book called Helping Without Hurting in Short-Term Mission Trips. And it made me aware that some missionaries would go on trips, help build homes, and when they left, the natives would then tear down the homes that they built so that the next set of missionaries could build homes. I thought this was the most horrible thing that I ever heard, and it really made me question if my participation in mission trips was more about me feeling and doing good than actually about serving other people and making life better for them. I mean, have you ever heard someone say, why leave the country to do good when there's so much good that can be done at home? Well, after reading that book, I almost bought that t-shirt. And here was my underlying assumption. My underlying assumption was it very well might be a waste of time and irresponsible use of money to actually do short-term mission trips. That was my underlying assumption. Now, here is a coaching moment. As a coach, one of the things I do is ask my clients questions to help them move from where they are to where they want to be. So, if you will allow me, I would like to coach you briefly. Think of a situation in your life that seems hopeless or that you have dismissed as not worthy of your time. But what you really mean is you don't see it changing. So you kind of moved on to something else. Is it a relationship with someone? Is it an issue at home or work? Is it something you have observed happening with or to someone? Or if you don't resonate with that thinking, think of something that makes your soul weep or makes you sad every time you see it, but you feel powerless to do anything about it. Is it homeless people you pass on the way to work? Or do you feel like you will scream if you hear one more story about a woman or a child that is abused? Or is it knowing that people go to institutions that should be safe places for healing and help, and they actually experience more hurt from these institutions than they did where they came from? And now, if anyone on here moves in religious circles, an example of this would be what we call church hurt, right? And that can run really, really deep. So just jot down for you. What is a a burden, an issue, a relationship, or if none of these thinkings sort of resonate with you, then just think of some recent challenge you've had involving anyone else that you figured you couldn't do anything about or figure out a solution to. Now, here's my question to you. What is your underlying assumption for why you don't think you can change the situation? Write it down. I'll give you a few minutes. And to remind you, in my case, my underlying assumption was, listen, it'd be a waste of time and irresponsible to go on short-term mission trips. That was my underlying assumption. What is yours? Mother Teresa is quoted as saying, I can do what you cannot, and you can do what I cannot. Together, we can do great things. Let me share my second lesson for you today about how we all need one another. Going back to my underlying assumption of it's a waste of time and irresponsible use of money to do short-term mission trips. The main question for me into unraveling this assumption was, what is the evidence that value can be added by me going to the Philippines? The priority for the trip to the Philippines was to address sex trafficking and exploitation, especially in the bars in Angel Cities in Philippines. Here is what I came to find out. Foreigners can do in Angel City what is illegal for Filipinos to do. It is illegal for Filipinos to go into the bars where women are sexually exploited. They can only go if they are in a group with foreigners. My church, Victory Church, sent a team of 22 missionaries to do bar outreach to rescue women. We partnered with an organization called Wipe Every Tear that is committed year-round to providing freedom and opportunities to these ladies. So for 4 days of our mission trip, we were grouped with 4 missionaries and 2 women previously rescued, and the 6 of us in groups of 6 went into the bars. Now let's just pause it for a second and take in what I just said. Women who were previously rescued are now part of the rescue team. That's something in and of itself. And so you see in this picture, the 4 missionaries in my group and only the hands of the 6-person team, our full team. And that's because even the identity of the women who are rescued is maintained confidential throughout their engagement with Wipe Every Tear.